Mr. Festus Okoye joins us this morning. He is National Commissioner INEC and Chairman Information and Voter Education of the Commission. He joins us from our studio in Abuja. Thanks for joining us this morning, Mr. Okoye, and compliments of Easter to you.
Yeah, same to you.
Okay. Well, it definitely is very concerning times for INEC, given all of the information that is coming around back and forth. And we also understand that there's been some update about the attack in Imo. So far, so good. Unfortunate the death of Mr. Anthony and the reconnection with some of your staff that had hitherto not been seen. What further information can you give us now about that attack?
Well, we don't have any further updates other than the update we issued on the 15th day of April. As you are already aware, on the 14th day of April, some of our staff who were on national assignment doing the continuous voters registration exercise in Amako here ward in Ihituboma, a local government area, we attacked. And in the process, one of them lost his life by name Okoye Anthony. And thereafter, he was evacuated to the morgue with the assistance of the security agencies and the chairman of the local government. And then on that 14th, two additional staff of the commission who were with him were nowhere to be seen. But by Friday, we had made contact with them. We had located them. They had minor injuries, and the injuries were not life-threatening. And the resident electoral commissioner for Imo State promised to do everything possible to make sure that they rejoin their families. So that's the only update we have as of today. And then thereafter, the same on the 15th, we had further threats to our staff in a Himemba, local government area of the same Imo State. So based on that, the resident electoral commissioner made further report to the commission, and the commission decided that it was important to suspend further CVR in 4 of the local government areas of Imo State. Prior to this particular, in 3 of the local governments, prior to this particular period, the commission has suspended CVR in Osu local government, in Njaba local government, and then also suspended in Himembano. Now, based on the threats, we decided that all the CVR will now be done at the state and local government offices of the commission in the entire state. So as of today, we're only doing CVR in the state and local government offices of the commission in all the local government areas of Imo State, except the 3 local governments I've mentioned, where we suspended the CVR indefinitely. And these are also local government, Njaba local government, and Ihituboma local government.
Given the information that came with that viral video of that unfortunate occurrence, the message, the commentaries that were on it, and the message that's supposed to have connoted, how is INEC taking that message on board?
Well, for the commission, our remit is to make sure that we capture all the persons who are ready to register as voters. That's our remit, and that's our mandate. Now, based on the security challenges we encountered in Ihituboma local government, the security agencies have taken over from where we stopped. So immediately after this Easter holiday, we expect to get further update from the security agencies on what they know, what they have uncovered, and the level and extent of their investigation. So as far as the commission is concerned, we are not going to speculate. We are not going to make any deductions relating to the issues, since we do not have the power of investigation. The security agencies will definitely unravel the circumstances leading to this particular issue, and maybe the motives of those who carried out the attack. And then that will assist the commission in formulating its policies going forward, especially in relation to the 3 local governments where we suspended the CVR indefinitely.
And you know, this resurgence, in quotes, is really worrying because, I mean, we used to have attacks, yes, on INEC offices last year and the previous year, and they stopped essentially. I think it was around May last year, and these attacks stopped. Yes, we used to see a series of attacks on INEC installations and offices, staff at that time, but it seemed as though those attacks stopped. Now we have these resurgence, which we're hoping is just a one-off. But I'd like you to walk us through at least that period. What did INEC and perhaps the security agencies get right such that those attacks stopped?
Well, as you pointed out, we really want to believe that this present attack is a one-off thing, and that it will not continue. If you recall, this particular commission started the CVR on the 28th day of June 2021. And on that 28th day of June 2021, we decided to do only online pre-registration based on our interaction with the various security agencies or under the auspices of the Interagency Consultative Committee on Election Security, and also based on our interaction with the political parties, civil society groups and organizations, and the media, who jointly agreed that we should not roll out in all the states of the, in all the 8,809 registration areas, but that we should roll out gradually. And it was on the basis of that that we rolled out to the state and local government offices of the commission. It was on further review of the security situation throughout the federation and the need to take registration closer to the people that we decided to roll out to the various registration areas on a rotational basis. And that was what led to this particular incident, because we were doing the CVR in the registration areas on a rotational basis. Especially in Imo State, we have 54 centers where we were doing this CVR on a rotational basis. Now, relating to the previous attacks, we had dialogue, we had consultation with the various security agencies, and we were also giving tips on how to safeguard some of our installations, how to safeguard some of our critical and essential materials in the state and local government offices. And we carried out some of the instructions of the security agencies, and the security agencies on their own also designed their own measures on how to safeguard our facilities. And then the various, even in some of the local governments, in some of the states, the communities where these attacks took place decided on their own to assist the commission in rebuilding some of the facilities. Now, in relation to the attacks in Imo State, we had agreed with the various communities, because there was a community engagement, there was a stakeholder engagement relating to our deployment. And the critical stakeholders in most of the local governments promised that they were going to assist the commission, protect the staff and equipment that we were going to deploy. It was on the basis of that that we did this deployment. But apparently something went wrong somewhere, and the security agencies will definitely get to the root of what went wrong.
And, you know, this is on the back of the statement made by INEC's National Commissioner, Professor Okoye, who expressed surprise that no culprits had been apprehended in all the attacks. That's the ones we saw last year and the previous year. And he says it makes it difficult to know exactly those responsible and the motive. At that time, it was arson we were seeing across your offices. And I'd like to ask, between then and now, perhaps, have you seen any traction in terms of arrests, prosecution? At least I'm sure the security agencies will be keeping INEC updated on those.
Well, our expectation is that immediately after this Easter break, that there will be a meeting of the Interagency Consultative Committee on Election Security, where some of these issues will be tabled afresh, where this present threat will also be tabled. And then we are going to receive briefing and update from the various security agencies on what they have done in relation to previous attacks and what they have done in relation to this present resurgence. And then we will take it from there. But as of today, I don't have information relating to the number of persons arrested and the number of prosecutions that have been carried out. I don't have any update on that. But I believe that immediately after this Easter holiday, the chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, who chairs the Interagency Consultative Committee on Election Security, together with the National Security Advisor, who is the co-chair, we convene a meeting and then we will deliberate on all these issues and then design new measures and new mechanisms of how to contain some of these challenges.
You know, I'll be shocked really if no arrest or at least prosecution has been done. This is over a year since we've seen those attacks, and of course for this fresh one. But one can only imagine the pain and agony being felt by the family of late Mr. Okoye Anthony, who was killed that day. I just want to know, what kind of succor is INEC providing for the family, who must be going through a lot at this time?
Well, you know, we insure all our staff. We carry out comprehensive insurance on all our staff who are engaged in national assignment. We also have a welfare package for all our staff who are out there in the field. But, you know, there's no form of insurance cover and no form of compensation that can make up for a single human life. And that was why we made it very, very clear that we are not going to put any of our staff in harm's way. And that was the same reason why the commission did not roll out on time in all the local government areas and in all the registration areas. And what we decided was that we are going to be rolling out on a rollout and rollback basis. If we roll out and we encounter very, very serious challenges, we will roll back to our local government and state offices. And as you also know, there are so many states of the Federation where we have what we call frontline local governments, where we have challenges of insurgency, where we have challenges of banditry, where we have serious cases of kidnapping. We are not doing CVR in some of these frontline local governments because we cannot sacrifice the security of any of our staff on the basis of CVR. So there's no form of compensation that will compensate for a single human life. And only God knows what the families are going through at this particular moment. And this is a young man that has been cut down in the prime of his life. And our heart goes out to the family. And we only pray that God will give them the fortitude to bear this loss.
You know, it's unfortunate that we have to be talking about someone so full of life in the past tense at a time like this. But then the implications of such a sacrifice is what you are also talking about here now, Mr. Okoye, which is the fact that if these issues, these attacks, these unfortunate incidences continue, as you said, INEC will roll back. What are the implications of that? Should there be a sizable number of centers in the country where INEC rolls back and consequently people are unable to vote? There are those who are going to question the authenticity of the election in 2023.
Well, if you recall, and let me further emphasize, we agree completely that a credible voters' roll, an authentic voters' roll, is the foundation of the electoral process. There's no doubt about that. Now, we already have over 84 million Nigerians on our voters' roll. These ones, we are not registering them afresh. What we are doing is what we call continuous voters registration exercise. One, to capture those who have not been captured since the last registration exercise. Secondly, to capture those who have attained the age of 18 since the last registration exercise. To also make sure that those who have lost their PVCs or whose PVCs have been defaced get a replacement. And also to make sure that those who have moved from one place to the other get a replacement so that they will be in a position to vote in their new location. So this is a continuous voters registration exercise. I completely agree that there will be a problem, there's a challenge if a sizable number of our people are unable to register. But one thing you must realize is that this continuous voters registration exercise did not start today. We have been on this for the past 9 months. For 9 months. So we are now on the last quarter of the CVR, which will terminate on the 30th day of June 2022. But we are confident that we are going to register all Nigerians who are interested in registering. But there's a possibility that some Nigerians may, through no fault of theirs, through the type of security challenges we have in the country as of today, not be in a position to get registered. And I think it will be unfortunate. But we are going to make all efforts to make sure that we capture and register every registrable Nigerian who is interested in registering. In some of these local governments that we have suspended registration, there's a possibility that if the security situation may improve and we will roll out to those local governments once again. But in these 3 local governments I have mentioned, the CVR is suspended indefinitely. But we keep on assessing and reassessing the security situation in all the states of the Federation. And I believe that when we hold this quarterly meeting with the security agencies, the political parties, civil society groups and organizations, and the media, we will further review the situation in different parts of the country. And also, we also receive briefing from our resident electoral commissioners on how we are dealing with the CVR and this type of security issues that we have in their various states.
The challenge could transit from voter registration to voting. And, you know, it will seem like it's all encompassing a buffet of activities, so to speak, that people have to go through. So, and I know, just as you've said, there's going to be some briefing about the security situation and the safety and security of not just INEC officials, but the people who will come out to vote. If these elements are able to instill enough fear in people, voter apathy will only get worse. And there are those who are wondering, with the level of voter apathy that we've had over the years, and or should I even say incremental voter apathy, gradual reduction in the number of voters, percentage of people that come out to vote from the 84 million that you talked about. And so one is wondering, how do we instill voter confidence in the 2023 elections? There are still about 2 elections or thereabout before the general elections of next year. So what is the plan to instill voter confidence in the process to ensure their safety? I know INEC is not a security agency. You have to collaborate and all of that. But what assurances can INEC give that people who come out to vote, who take part in this process, will be safe and secure?
Well, I really believe that the issue of security should be the collective business of all Nigerians. All of us have a responsibility to make sure that we assist the security agencies to degrade as much as possible the current security challenges in different parts of the country. Nigerians are entitled as a people and as a nation to go out and exercise their democratic franchise. They are entitled to go and make that choice, and they can only make that choice if they are confident that they can go out to the polling units without being molested, that they can go out to the polling units without losing their lives and without being maimed. They have to have a reasonable measure of confidence that what they are doing will not lose to any loss of life. That is their own expectation. The commission also expects that when we deploy over 1,500,000 ad hoc staff, that nothing untoward will befall them, that they will be safe, and that our materials and equipment will be safe. And so I believe that the various security agencies understand the enormity of the challenges at stake. They should also understand that under Section 132 subsection 2 and under section 178 subsection 2 of the Constitution, that we have a window within which we must conduct the 2023 elections, and that particular window, when it closes, the only other issue you have is a constitutional challenge, it's a constitutional logjam, and nobody wants this country to go into a constitutional logjam. So I'm confident that with the cooperation of all Nigerians and with the insistence of the security agencies to do the right thing, that they are going to make sure that we degrade these security challenges in most parts of the country to enable Nigerians have the confidence that they can come out on election day to come and vote. So, as I pointed out, some of these issues will be tabled before the Interagency Consultative Committee on Election Security, so that the efforts will begin in earnest to make sure that we have some level of peace and some level of conducive environment in all states of the Federation. That
okay, just a quick one.
Peaceful election and also inclusive election.
Just a quick one, Mr. Okoye. I recall last year, September, the INEC chairman asked the National Population Commission to assist in cleaning up the voter register. And, you know, at that time, the population census was billed for this year, May 2022. But now it has been moved to next year. After the election, I wonder, how is INEC taking that on board? I imagine that would affect that whole process of cleaning up the voter register with the help of the MPC.
Well, what the INEC chairman said was that we will continue to cooperate with all the agencies of government that store or retrieve one form of data or the other, or that are constitutionally and legally permitted to access the data of Nigerians. And you know that the commission does not keep the register of births and deaths. And one of the biggest challenges we have in this country is that when we carry out voters registration, or when we carry out continuous voters registration exercise, we do what we call display of the voters register for claims and objections. And the import is for Nigerians to look at some of the to look at the register, assist the commission detect those who have passed on, assist the commission detect those who are not supposed to be on the voters register, assist the commission detect those who have sneaked into the voters register, maybe as underage registrants. And then that will help us clean up the voters register and make it more compact, make it more credible. And then if we cannot get an accurate register of deaths and births, there's no way we can be in a position to remove those who are dead, except when very prominent Nigerians die, and then you can confidently remove their names from the register. But removing somebody's name from the register is a very, very cumbersome process. It's a very tedious process, and you don't want to go and remove somebody's name from the register who has not passed on. So we will continue to collaborate with them and cooperate with them in terms of assessing their data to enable us clean up the voters register. The same thing with the immigration department, who sometimes arrest foreigners who are not supposed to register and who are in possession of a voters card. So when they do that, we use the information to clean up the voters register. But we have a more robust system now that can be used to clean up the voters register.
Okay, well, we can only hope and aspire that at least INEC will get all the support that the commission needs to do a good job for us in the lead up to the 2023 general elections and beyond. Mr. Festus Okoye, National Commissioner, as well as Chairman, Information and Voter Education of INEC, thank you so much for your time this morning.
Thank you so much, and I wish you happy Easter once again.
Wish you the same. It's still politics right after now. Please stay with us.